Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Toffee TV. It's Monday, the 21st of April. It's a bank holiday.
It is.
Therefore, we're only doing half an hour on this live today. We've just done the final word live on Premiere. That'll be out on YouTube at...
As soon as I finish this now.
Oh, okay. There you go.
So I'd say about half an hour. It'll be all...
Well, no, 3 o'clock, we'll say. 3 o'clock.
All right.
Out at 3 o'clock. But it's all good. So, hello. Welcome. We just thought we'd have a little chat to you guys on a bank holiday Monday. First of all, thank you to everybody who's subscribed so far. We're over 99,000 now. We are on the countdown to that 100k. What are we? 984 away.
Yeah. Wow.
So
I was just looking at the thingy in the top, in the corner.
It's not bad. It's not bad. Not bad. James, obviously, you went on the final word, so me and Ped were on it. But what did you sort of make of Everton on Saturday?
You know what? I thought we started well. Like considering it's Man City, I know they've got sort of that. I don't know. Everyone's scared of them because of what they've done in the past. I know they had a bit of an off season, but I just thought we played well, and it's just once again it was you're not really taking your chances, are you? And you know, there's players like Michalenko, Harrison, and stuff who've all been sort of had a go at for how they've been playing. I thought they both had a really good game, especially Harrison. I thought he was doing well. He's getting some good crosses in. I think it was just sort of, I don't know, the front where we were lacking a lot. Really, it was. I don't think for our team, Brozier can work as sort of a solo striker purely because he always drops deep or he goes out wide and stuff. So when we have got, the likes of Harrison trying to cross it in, which what we're used to with Beto and Calvert-Lewin, there's no one there for it really. And so it was crossing into maybe Decore by himself. And I think that's sort of what let Everton down, is that we didn't have someone who could cause a bit of unrest to the defenders. And it's weird because, you look at the derbies and stuff where Beto has played and he's played things like Van Dijk and stuff, and them sort of elite level centre backs like you'd say Ruben Diaz, and he always causes them issues and gets under the skin, and just the way he runs at them and stuff, it's just they always seem to struggle against them, and that's why I thought this game would have been perfect for him really. It
was weird, wasn't it? Because I know, listen, you can talk about Brozier and good close control, but he does always want to drop deep. And I know the manager was asked last week about him playing wide because we're playing for Albania, and he was like, no, he's a number 9. But I don't see him as a number 9.
No.
I think in a 2, if you're playing 2 up, and you can have him dropping in and picking it up and running, but you still got someone who's stretching the defence.
Yeah.
Then that's okay. But when you're a lone striker, the focal point through the middle, dropping off and dropping deep to pick it up and try to run with it, that's not really what you should be doing, because then there's no one up there. And if Everton had sort of 2 inverted wingers who were quick and who got in behind, then fair enough, him dropping them would create a pocket for them to go in behind. We don't do that.
Yeah, because you look at sort of teams who do that, and Firmino for Liverpool,
exactly.
Salah and Mane, even Harry Kane for Tottenham.
Son. They had Son, and they had whoever they wanted off the right hand side.
So they had them sort of players who could fill in the strike role, but Everton don't have them.
No.
And so him dropping deep means it's just Decore up there or no one really. So that was the frustrating element of it. But I think if you just take that game, ended at 80 minutes, we'd be like, you know what, it wasn't too bad that we played well there, and we gave them an hard game, but the end was just very poor, wasn't it?
Obviously, we lost James Tarkowski. We've had no update on him, but he doesn't strike me, James Tarkowski, as a player who comes off if he thinks he can sort of, and you can't run a hamstring off, obviously.
Yeah, he looked gutted.
And he looked devastated, and that might be his last ever game at Goodison, depending on how bad the injury is. Hopefully it isn't. Hopefully it's a minor one, and he's back within a couple of weeks, and he gets that Southampton game. But if that's him done, or even he's not going to play this Saturday, is he? That's for sure. So therefore, for you, who comes in? Obviously, the manager brought Michael Keane on at the weekend, and then said afterwards it was because he didn't want to move too many players around. I personally would have put Nathan Patterson on him and just put O'Brien centre back where he plays. But what would you do moving forward? Would Keane get another go? Would it be O'Brien centre back and then who plays right back if that's how you would do it?
I think it opens up sort of an interesting question, doesn't it? Because we spoke about it loads in here, saying everyone wants to have O'Brien to have a go at centre half, and everyone wants Patterson to have a go at right back. But the thing's always been you can't really drop Branthwaite or Tarkowski. And I know obviously it's not good that he's got injured, but it removes that sort of question and gives Moyes a chance to sort of be a bit more risky and give these players a go in the natural position, because as good as O'Brien's been at right back, he's 6'5" and he's a centre half ultimately. So it'll be good now for him to finally hopefully get a few games under his belt playing in his actual position, and you can sort of get a true understanding of how good he is there. Because I know Ped was a bit critical of him, but right back he has his flaws, and you know when he's coming up against small wingers who are fast and he's got to move. You know, he's massive, he's got to move himself to how they move. It doesn't always work well and it doesn't come off great, but if he gets a proper goal at his right back spot, then it's ideal, really. And as you said, Patterson coming in at right back, I think that's what I ideally want as well, because after this season, he's got, 2 years left on his contract? So a decision's got to be made on him, otherwise he's going to leave on a free. So, you know, he's got a few games now where he can come in, he can have a go at right back, and you can sort of see how good he is, and if Everton should be keeping him and building around him. Because I know he played at left back, it's not his position again, and he was always going to be like second choice once Michalenko came back. So at least now you'll get the full effect. And I think with Everton's team too, with having Harrison and Dwight McNeil playing on the wing, it sort of suits having an attacking full back a bit more, because if he gets forward, you can have faith that Harrison or Dwight McNeil can drop deep. So I think it's just opens up a really good opportunity for Patterson, and hopefully that's what he does, because as much as, not even as much, but I know Keane's like sort of the perfect replacement in a way, keeping everything in harmony. I think I've been pretty clear that, you know, the likes of like Calvert-Lewin and stuff, people who aren't going to be here, I can understand, but I don't really see the point of them coming into the team at this point anymore, when there's players in the squad who haven't been properly assessed or still have to be assessed. And so I'd be disappointed if Keane started again. Purely, he's not going to be here next season. Patterson, we need to assess, and I'd like to see Jake O'Brien in his actual position. And I feel, after, you know, listening to Moyes and stuff, I feel like he'll be thinking the same, really. And hopefully that's what we see.
Few people saying put Young in for experience, but why?
Yeah, I don't get that either.
Why?
He had a good stint under Dice, didn't he, where he got a few assists.
Young's done well, but what's the point? It's like, again, he's not going to be here next season.
Yeah.
Nathan Patterson is where it's at, because we need to know whether or not he's good enough. That is the most important thing for me now, is that there's a couple of decisions to be made. One on Patterson. Schmitty's a decision to be made, and I don't mean to sell him or get rid of him. What I mean is, can he hack it? Because if he can't, let's get him on loan and give him a year of playing football.
Well,
you know?
with the Schmitty thing, I think something that sort of I was hoping he'll get asked in the next press conference why he wasn't chosen for selection, because I think online and stuff like that, talking to people, everyone sort of came to the conclusion that maybe Moyes doesn't rate him or doesn't think he's good enough. Do you think that's sort of what it is, or do you think it's just
for Saturday?
Yeah, for why he wasn't in the
squad
at all?
I just think it was a case of he left Coleman out the week before, didn't he?
Yeah,
I think he's just got. I think he just looked at circumstances on Saturday and thought, I'm likely to only make, like, Beto's going to come on for Brozier. I'm not likely to put Schmitty on against City.
Yeah.
That's what I think he thought. He looked at it and was like a little bit more cautious and was like, well, Seamus missed out last week, so he's in this week. Maybe Schmitty hasn't trained well all week.
Yeah.
Maybe he's thrown a gauntlet down to him going, you've got to be on it every single day, mate. Every day. You want to get in this squad and on that pitch, you've got to be on it every single day. You've got to show that you can finish, show that you can out-muscle our centre-backs, you can get shots away. But because he has had them on the bench, he brought them on at Anfield, things like that. So brought them on against West Ham. So he has made a few appearances under the manager, but...
It was after that West Ham game, though, where people got a bit excited about him. Like, Ped was quite excited, where him and Brozier were linking
he looked
up well.
bright, yeah.
And you thought, going forward, that if he was starting Beto, like, for instance, Nottingham Forest, where we score late on, that them two would be the ones you bring on to sort of switch it up and cause a bit more havoc. But after that West Ham game, I don't think both of them have been on the pitch.
Well, we had the break, didn't we? After the West Ham game. We had that break where was an international break, and then we come back to Liverpool away. But then he did bring him on at Liverpool.
Yeah.
And then it was Arsenal, and then Forest. He didn't, didn't get on the pitch, and then at the weekend he wasn't even on the bench. So I'm hoping he has a good. Well, he will be on the bench at the weekend because Brozier can't be on the bench. Obviously, Brozier can't be in the squad because of the Chelsea game. So therefore, it's a chance for Chimiti to get back on the bench, and we know that Beto tires after 65 minutes. And therefore you'd like to think Chimiti will come on and get a go, and it's up to him. Train really well this week, knowing that you're probably going to be in the squad, and throw the gauntlet down to the manager for that
it definitely
game.
Opens up like a lot of opportunities for players who sort of are fringe players right now, doesn't it? Brien, Patterson, Chimiti, all going to get a chance now to play in sort of their positions, and whether they take it or not, really, isn't it? But
well, you've got the opportunity. Chimiti, Patterson is a career decision Everton have to make, because they have to decide what's going to happen. Is he good enough? Is there something there, but he needs games? Is he just going to be our number 2 right back, and we'll keep him for another year, and then next summer we'll sell him for a knockdown fee, whatever, because he's only got a year left? Is the manager looking at him going, you actually could be my starting right back? Well, we won't know, so you've got to play him. The manager might play him and go, he ain't at the level. Therefore, we need a right back this summer. Chimiti, I think, is about development. I think, again, just let me see if I can.
Yeah, he's played barely any games.
I want to see how many games he's played in his career. Cause
I know for Sporting as well, when he first came in, he scored a good few goals, and then went like 11 games without scoring, and then signed for Everton.
I'm not sure he's played more than 20, or appeared in more than 25 games. Might be wrong. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's got 55 games here in his career, right? But the reality of that is...
That's for like the B team though as well, isn't it?
That's their B team.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's got... Did he have 18 appearances last season for Everton?
I wouldn't have guessed that many. At all.
That says 8. That says he's played 20. He's had 22 appearances for Everton in his career, but I'd be surprised if it was that many, given he's not been involved this season. I would have said he was involved in like 9 or 10 last season maximum, but he might have played more than that. But he's hardly really played games. Sporting 16 appearances before we signed him in their first team, but 12 of them were sub. So he's hardly really established himself at all as a footballer. He's 21 now, and he's bright and he looks promising. Oh, sorry, he's 20. He's not 21 till May. So therefore, he needs to be given a go, doesn't he? You need to give him a go and see whether or not he can do it. I'd get him in. If not, you look and you go, okay, well, we're going to loan you. Speak to Marcel Brands.
I was going to say that.
Take him to Holland. Let him bang in a lot of goals over there.
It does feel like how Branthwaite felt, doesn't it? Where
but that's it.
He had a few appearances and he's not really shocked anyone, but he's shown that he's got something. And so a year abroad at a top team, like sort of like a PSV or something like that, not a championship or anything lower. I think like a top division team, I think would be really good for him.
If you look at him, he looks like he's got the attributes, doesn't he? 6'4", he can run.
He's good.
His
good
touch is good with dribbling. Seems to have a good shot on him. So why not sort of,
He's only 20, to be fair.
That's it. He's a baby, really, isn't he?
Yeah.
You'd say, oh well, he's in a, he's really sort of. If he was playing regularly under 21s, and he's only 20, you'd be going, well, he needs a loan or whatever, because he's not really featured that many. So if you look at it like that, when you break it down that way, you sort of go, he's done nothing in his career. So we need to get him out on loan and get him games. We'll see. Yeah, it reckons he's made 20 Premier League appearances for Everton. I'm really surprised by that because it feels like he's hardly. And I know sometimes Dyche put him on last season and he was on for
like a minute,
3 or 4 minutes here and there. Do you know what I mean? But obviously it all adds up, doesn't it? But he's still a lad who's got lots of potential.
Yeah.
But we just haven't seen enough of him. And therefore that's the thing that I think David Moyes will look at. I think the manager will look and go, all right, let's have a look at what's best for him. Will he help us? And the manager might go, he's my number 2 or 3 striker in the squad. That's the way he is. So I'm not letting him go out on loan.
Yeah.
But he's got to start knocking on David Moyes' door almost and going, well,
prove him why he should be.
I need to be playing games. Yeah, I mean, last season he had 18 Premier League appearances and it added up to 196 minutes.
Wow. So, just over 2 games total.
Yeah. So that's sort of more accurate, isn't it, reading that he's just, off the bench. Bournemouth, when we won 3-0. Yeah, there we go, right? So, Wolves at home, when we lost 1-0 last season, 24 minutes he got. Arsenal at home, we lost 1-0 at home, he got 2 minutes. Bournemouth at home, we beat 3-0, he got 1 minute. Liverpool away, lost 2-0, he got 2 minutes. West Ham at home, got beat 1-0, he got 1 minute. 3-0 defeat at home to Man U, he got 8 minutes. 1-0 win at Forest, he got 8 minutes. Then he never featured again till Spurs before Christmas, he got 10 minutes. Sorry, no, Spurs was in March, sorry, wasn't it? Yeah, he got 10 minutes. He got 1 minute against Man City. He got 1 minute against West Ham, 2 minutes against United, 1 minute against Forest, 1 minute against Liverpool. He then started the Brentford game, he got 90 minutes there. Then he got 10 minutes against Luton, 11 minutes against Sheffield United, and 15 minutes at Arsenal.
So he just hasn't had to go.
So essentially,
I think as well what's interesting is that the pre-season, I know it's pre-season, so it's very different, but they're the games where he sort of had a bit more of a game to play and he looked good.
The only day he played at Sligo, come on at half time, got 2. And then he played about half an hour at Salford and got injured, and that was it.
Yeah.
Didn't see him again.
But it's been a shame, really, hasn't it? Because, I don't know, winning more attacking manager, if it wasn't Dyche, do you reckon he would have got better chances? Or do you think it's weird because you don't know the full picture with him, do you?
See, I
don't
honestly,
know if he's good.
In Sean Dyche's defence, I actually think if he'd have been fit in the first half of the season, I think Sean Dyche preferred him to Beto.
Yeah.
So I think he would have got... Dom still would have played because Dyche, he was just wedded to that, but I think he would have got more opportunities. And obviously David Moyes doesn't know him, does he? So he's just getting to know him. So Timothy's got to put the marker down himself. We can't have a go with the managers and go, well, they should be playing him. I mean, we don't know. He might be given everything in training and it might be the manager doesn't like him, but I think managers tend to, if you're good enough, they play you whether they like you or they don't like you. If you're good enough.
Yeah, take the decision out of their hands.
You've got to, haven't you? You've got to go, you're playing. The manager has to play. Doesn't get on with him. We've all done it. We've all played in teams where you don't like the manager, but you're in, and we know that it goes on in professional football. They don't even speak to the manager, but they play every game because they're too good to leave out. He's got to make himself too good to leave out, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Just for anyone who's subbing, in case you're missing any of these, make sure you're at like sort of the notification thing, so you get notified. Just a couple of people like, oh, I didn't know you were on. Well, has to be notified when we're on as well. But thank you very much to everyone. Let's do a few comments just on this. Steve says here on to promise David from Unions SG in Belgium, 18 goal assists, 27 games, 6'5", 23 years old. There's a video of him going round where he's running through on goal and defenders are hanging onto his shirt to the point where it completely rips. He stays on his feet and scores. I've seen that video. There's a few of these around, Steve, isn't it? Let's hope Everton are looking, because them kind of players don't cost too much. But all go back to when we were going on about Boniface.
Yeah.
Boniface, could have got him. There's quite a few. let's hope Everton are looking in all these places. Gary says, Hardy. Liam says, anyone thinking it's a sure thing, Patterson comes in, might be surprised. Nah, it's not a young back three though, is it? Really. So, Derek says Polahonki. Derek says Polahonki. Jake at centre-back, Patterson at right-back. We're safe, let's get a look at some of these players. Not to mention Patterson needs premiums. Absolutely spot on, Derek. Yep. Also says Harrison looks to me like he's fighting for a place in the team. Well, he is, but I'd be amazed if Jack Harrison's at Everton next season.
He's got 1 goal.
Leeds are coming up.
No assists.
And I think the money to get him and his wages, I don't think Everton are spending that money on him. I think David Moyes would be like, thank you, but no thank you.
Yeah. He's done a job.
Good to have on loan again if Leeds went, so you can keep him on loan as a squad player, but I think the manager would be looking for more pace and goals. We can't have a situation where the lad who's playing at number 10, whether the manager likes him or not, has scored 3 goals all season.
Yeah.
A right winger has got 1 goal and no assists all season.
And the other one's got 1 assist.
The other right winger's got no goals and 1 assist. One of our left wingers has got 3 goals and 3 assists all season. And we've got our other left winger is our top scorer with 9.
Yeah.
We can't have that.
No. Because
our midfield should be getting 4s and 5s, the 2 sitting midfield players. Your number 10 should be getting between 6 and 8. Your right winger should be getting between 7 and 9. Your left winger should be getting what he's got, 7 and 9. And your centre forward should be getting 10 plus at least.
Yeah.
Your centre back should be looking at 3 or 4 each. The size of the pair of them.
Yeah.
And our full back should be weighing in with 2 or 3 on
at
each side.
Assists, yeah.
But at least creating goals. That's what you aim for. We're a case of if our striker doesn't score,
we're done.
Unless Njai can do, and he doesn't look fit at the moment. He's coming back, isn't he, to fitness? So yeah. We got the other one there. Back onto YouTube comments. Where are they? Where are you? A few people. Good afternoon to everybody. Macca's Musings says it's well, at the time of his comments, it was 8:20 in Thailand. So it's good evening to you then, isn't it? Good evening. Dark Arts clapping, celebrating the 99k is right, mate. Look at that, we're pushed up to, are we 99,019 now?
Ooh, 80.
99,020. Yeah. 980 to go. Yes, thank you very much, people. Michael James has moved Jake O'Brien to centre back and put Tim Irabunam at right back. No, not for me. Andrea says, good afternoon, playing Keane was a mistake. We should have used Jake and Patterson at right back. Yeah. Fletcher says O'Brien needs to play with Brantwaite. Yeah. Gaming Breakdown says it'll most likely be Young, as he can keep himself fit. Colvin is as thin as a piece of paper, and Patterson has been okay with injuries. Don't know how long Tarkowski's out for, mate. Haven't heard anything yet, but it didn't look good, did it? Michael says none of the other right backs will do. Only Tim Irabunam will do. Why? There's no evidence whatsoever to say Irabunam could play there.
He's going to play someone else's position, so it makes more sense for Garner to
play. James Garner, who played there, so no. Patterson at right back. Dark Arts with Brien should play him on the right with Beto up and Jai on the left. Give it a go. Certainly against Ipswich and Southampton.
Moyes said, though, didn't he, in the press conference that he didn't know he played it. And then he said he thinks he's a number 9, doesn't think he's a winger. So
Bob says, think Tarkowski's done for the season. Blue Nose says Jake replaces him and Patterson or Coleman at right back. Blake here says Breuer was completely absent. Beto's always a better starter, but Breuer should have been subbed at half time to give Beto more time to set up. Yeah. Mikhailenko did play really well, Andreas. He certainly did. Danny, who's a YouTube member, says I've always said put Breuer on the right and Beto up front. Why not?
I know, it seems like it would work, doesn't it? maybe the defensive side of it, Broja wouldn't be well, but...
Yeah, but you've got a right back behind you. In terms of O'Brien, you've got a proper defender behind you, so why wouldn't you have Breuer high?
I know, I'd like to see it try, but I don't think it will be, will it? Because I feel like with Broja playing off another striker, it'd work way much better, because he could come deep there and he could sort of go wide and stuff. I don't know. He's done it for Albania, hasn't he?
Chris Roberts, a YouTube member, says Keane's stats when he came on, I don't think he won a duel and was dribble past 3 times. Yeah, he didn't have a great thing. Blake here says, boys, I made my pilgrimage for the City game. Goodison really is magic. The new stadium's immense. The only thing I didn't check off my to-do list was running into one of you. Blake, pity. Where did you come from, Blake? Very quickly. Where are we? Yeah. James Graham says O'Brien looks like he could contribute more from defence with a few more goals. Yeah. Steve says De Bruyne said some nice things about us after the game. He hinted he might want to stay in the Premier League, a cheeky bit. I think the Evertonians were trying to smooze him a bit, clapping him every time he jogged over to take a corner at the weekend, and I'm all for it.
I mean, I'd love it, but I think there'd be a lot of competition.
Of course, but then you've done it at the top.
Yeah.
Come and play for Everton and make us a bit better and play in a lovely new stadium, and our fans are mental, so it'd be good playing for them. Graham Headworth, the Forest fan, I think, said the size of both centre-backs' corners should be a shoe-in for a goal. They should, mate. The pair of them are massive, but... Oswald says if Leeds get promoted, will they want Harrison back? I don't think so.
I don't think they're too happy with him at the minute, are they, Leeds fans?
No. King Robbo, yeah, we've said for a while, give Brozier a go on the right-hand side. See what happens. David Hamler says it's 1:40 a.m. here in New Zealand. Always stay up for a few live. You're mad, but thank you very much for joining us. Here, Emma says didn't think there was a lot. No, just a very quick one, Emma. Just a very quick one. Another 5 minutes, and then me and James are done. Ian says Breuer doesn't have the pace for the right. Everton don't have any pace, so I think he'd be fine there.
I think he's got good feet though, and he's strong, so he'd be hard for defenders to defend against, wouldn't he?
I think you're putting him in a 9 as the striker. It's not going to work. He's not going to score enough goals. He's not going to score enough goals at all. Steve P says, if we don't sign a right winger in the summer, I'll cry. Me
I know,
too.
it's been a few years
It's
now.
a joke. It's a joke. I'm starting to put together some stuff for some target videos. I haven't been able to do them for ages because it's always been depressing, but players who we might look at. So I'm just putting some of them together. I can assure you right wingers are on my to-do list. Where's the Bellway, Steve? Let me know where the Bellway is. Emma says, I finally met Ped on Saturday.
Wow.
But he's not in to confirm I'm not a goth.
Was he nice to you, or was
he nice to you, Emma? Very quickly, let us know.
Or did he insult you?
He's not going to insult her. His bottle would have gone.
He wasn't behind the camera anymore.
He's not, Danny. He's not here. He's gone. It's only me and James. Ranjit says the Leeds fans I talk to regularly don't want Harrison back. No, I know.
They're not happy with him, are they, because he left them, and they're not getting anything really for it. But it's not his fault because it's a clause in his contract, isn't it?
They shouldn't have given him a 5-year deal in the April before they got relegated, when they were going down anyway. It was a weird choice. Mark says, I think Breuer has decided to stay at Chelsea based on his display at the weekend. I think he knows that Everton aren't going to spend 30 million on him, are they?
Yeah, well, there was stuff that came out, wasn't there, saying that Everton have already made the decision that he's not going to be here. And there's loads like Bundesliga clubs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
He might be better. He was over there, wasn't he? Oh, Blake came from San Diego. It would have been good to see you, mate. I'm glad. I hope you had a good, and the results aside, I hope you had a good a good day. Yes, Steve, it is in Hunts Cross. So if you ever fancy coming in, let us know. Let us know. Not by the bridge. No, it's in...
It's by the train station.
Yeah. Off Wood End Avenue. Dave says, looks like we need 2 defenders, 2 midfielders and 2 attackers now. Yep. One lad's individual says Brien only looks interested when he has the ball at his feet. At least Beto puts himself about. Yeah, he did. I was watching him Saturday because I do think there's a player there.
Yeah.
I do. But I was watching him on Saturday and I was just thinking, out of possession, you're not charging arm pressing properly. He wasn't strong enough when the ball got played through to him, and he should have really, the size of him, he should have just knocked Guardiola out the way.
Oh, should he put a bit of more of an effort into it?
He just sort of like ended up on his arse, and it was a bit like, come on, mate. But we'll see. Michael says, read lots of reports about us being linked with West Brom winger Tom Fellows, reckon he's good. But he's direct. He's quite quick. He's a good crosser of the ball. I don't know. Looks like, you never know, do you?
His crossing stats are meant to be like unbelievable, aren't they? He's ridiculously good at crossing.
Tom?
Yeah. Fellows,
yeah.
I watched the video about him and that was like his big thing.
Yeah, that's his big thing, yeah.
Like the metric, he's always like the top in it.
Mitch Moyes loves people who can cross it, doesn't he?
And he's young, British, so...
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what we do, obviously, in the summer. King Robbo says, what about Liam Delap? Well, we've watched them, know that. The link with him.
Yeah. I just don't... is it 40 million or 30 million?
It was
about
30 million, apparently, relegation release fee. It was a 40 million release fee if they stayed up.
Oh.
But...
It's an interesting one, isn't it? Because as we spoke about them quite a bit now, haven't we? That this is the first year where he's really scored like decent. He's got decent numbers, and he's 22. And I know there's the Harry Kane one, but he was younger when I don't know. It's a really weird one. But I'm gutted about Strand Lawson after finding out that he's already going to Wolves.
They activated him. They should do, because he's their main...
It's 23 million, so it's worth.
He's their main threat. Oh, he's done well for them, to be fair.
I prefer him over Delap.
I think Delap has probably got more higher ceiling than him now.
Do you think?
Yeah. I do. I like Stan Lart. He's like, he's
I just
a big
feel like
unit.
he just wants to like fight everyone.
He's got 12 goals though in a poor side, hasn't he? And he's got something at the end of a run now. He's got a little step over and can get a shot away. It's not all about just the brawn. Yeah, would you have him, Steve? Very quickly, would you have Tom Fellows? Just let us know quickly. But yeah, I mean, if Liam Delap is stupid if Everton are in for him and he chooses Man United or Chelsea over Everton. For his career, not because they're not big clubs. I mean, Chelsea's slightly different because they're in a much better place. But I still think you can get swallowed up. Chelsea is just another young player.
I know, if you look at both Chelsea and you look at Man United especially, look at the 2 strikers they've got in Højlund and Xerxes. They're both like highly rated young strikers, and they've jumped too soon into like a Man United where there's a load of pressure on them and expectance for them to get loads of goals. And I think if you're Delap, you've had a good season. Now you sort of replicate it again and show that it wasn't just a one-off, and then you go and try and either hopefully stay at Everton and we get Champions League, or he goes like a Champions League team after that. I don't think you just jump to it right away. I think it's far too soon.
Yeah. There won't be a bidding war for him when it's 30 million release fee.
No.
Can't be. It's just you match the release fee, that's it. Steve says he's an Everton striker, let's be honest. Yeah. But wages will go up, obviously, but we'll see. I don't know, he looks decent. He looks like he's got something, do you know what I mean? But you never know, do you? Because it's not like he posts 15 goals every season.
No.
You look at his numbers and go, but then again, he's young and he's getting better, so...
Yeah.
you go, well, he's developing, so therefore he's going to be a better player. So it's a bit of a tricky one. King Robbo says, you think Calvert-Lewin's definitely gone?
Yeah.
I just don't see how he'd stay. I mean, he might not have the options, but do we want him? Just not. I mean, I've defended Dom all the way. I like Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but I do think Everton need to move on. If we just go back to just having Dom and we whack it up to him, it's pointless. We're just going to continue to do what we do. We need to freshen the whole thing up, and I think Dom probably needs it a fresh start.
Yeah, I think it's just good for both parties and just move on.
But listen, if he stays, as long as we bring another striker in as well, then okay, sound. Mark Mack says, I can't see Charlie signing. I think he looks good, but I think Moyes wants better than good, which is what we want. See, I'd still take Alcaraz because he can play 3 or 4 positions. I think 15 million's not bad at all. I'd be getting rid of other players instead of him. But
I know, I just feel like...
He wasn't great Saturday, to be fair, when he come on.
He's had good moments, but I don't think if Moyes is sold on him, then I just don't see
the
point.
Moyes will make the decision if he doesn't think he's good, he'll feel in him.
Sort of, where you're just spending, like what we did with Cuban, where you're just spending money everywhere. I'd rather just all on what, I don't know, it's weird. I think it's an interesting one, whatever they do with it, because
I think someone else will take him.
Consistent start.
Someone else will take him, yeah, 100%. For 15 million quid, 100%. Travel with the ball, he can shoot with both feet, he works hard. I think someone will take him, yeah, definitely. Steepy says, let's be honest, our biggest problem hasn't changed and no manager can change it, and that's pace. And Jai is our fastest player and he's not fast. Good acceleration, he's got quick feet, but he's not a sprinter. Realistically, we need to bring in 2 fast fullbacks and 2 fast wingers. One of them to come off the bench. I think Moyes will be thinking the exact same thing. I wouldn't disagree. Mark Max says, Brien won't be on the right side. The look he gave that Geno when he suggested. I know, but he could be played there. I mean, he said when he played at Southampton, he played through the middle. He didn't. He played off the left, mostly.
He did for Fulham as well. Yeah.
So, he might just look at him and think, he can't play on the right because he doesn't work hard enough to get back. That's how Moyes might look at it. Where someone like Tom Fellows does work up and down. He's quick and can play right side, left side, and cross a ball. So, it's going to be fascinating, I think, this summer.
Yeah.
What Everton do. Got some money and all that. Fellows has got 13 assists in the Championship, but he hasn't scored goals. It's an issue, isn't it, with us? Can we get the goals out of him?
Yeah.
We create them. We need goals in our side. We can't be relying on...
We also need people to create them though as well.
No, we do, but then you got to put them in the net, haven't you?
Yeah.
You need players who have got a record of scoring goals. Borges Saints at Norwich. Don't know. I was having this discussion with Zach the other day. He wants him. He thinks he's good.
Yeah.
And he's a decent player. He's got a good record. He's got good feet. Is he quick enough? Don't know. King Robbo says Dominic not good enough to play up on his own like Dyche have been doing. If he stays, Moyes has to make a big change. MS says I can't see us signing Alcaraz, more likely to offer Decore a new contract. Stratford France says if Delap and Fellows want to develop, then it's Everton is the proper fit under Moyes. Richarlison, would you take Richarlison back?
Yeah. I know it doesn't make sense, but I just love Richarlison. So just take him back just for that.
Al says Arsenal will get Delap. I don't think so.
I think they'll get Watkins.
I think Arsenal want a different level. I think they want a different level. They love Benjamin Sesko, and they'll be back in for him in the summer. But if I was them, I'd be looking for better than him. Like,
I just thought it was interesting that against PSG, Watkins didn't get a start.
It's weird, yeah.
And it's just stuff like that, like the biggest game. And I saw a tweet about it, and it was saying Watkins didn't get a start for Villa, but if he was playing for Arsenal and went to Arsenal in January, probably would have started against Real Madrid.
Yeah, he would.
And it's like it's a weird one.
Emery's looking at different things, though, isn't he? Yeah. They're sort of. Let's be honest. If Arsenal would have signed a striker, they may well have won the Premier League. But we'll see. We'll see. Right. I'll give you the chance to refresh. Srylos says, bring in Richie the way we had Rooney. The lad wants to be at Everton. He does want to be back here, and listen, maybe he'll come back motivated, and maybe he'll be, because he loves it here, all of a sudden, those little niggles that he had go away, because he just wants to be at Everton. He wants to be, you know, plying his trade here, so to speak. But it'd have to be a loan for me. I don't think we can commit money to him because we don't know whether he's done. But I don't know. Hay says, can we have Baines back on a temporary contract? MGBN78 says, disagree. Alcaraz is low risk. He can play in one position, where if you look at McNeil and Jai, can play in all. McNeil won't be here under Moyes. Definitely won't play under David Moyes. There's not, in my opinion, there's not a chance Dwight McNeil will play under David Moyes. He'll be gone, I think. I don't think he's quick enough. Can't run.
Yeah.
Moyes doesn't like players that can't run.
It's not like his style, yeah.
Just can't run. Disagree with the Gyökeres thing. He's done brilliantly in sport, but no one wanted him.
No.
In the Premier League, nobody. Everyone looked at him and went, nah, not for me. He's been amazing for Sporting. And he might come back and do well, but I understand why Everton didn't commit money at that time to him.
Yeah.
Because it was a lot of money. No one else wanted him.
There's no guarantee, yeah.
But he has done brilliantly, and he's done brilliantly for Sporting. He really has. Maybe that league, because he's another one, he picks the ball up and runs it. But maybe that league really suits him. We'll see. If he gets to the Premier League, he might come back. He might come here and do really well, but there is definitely a reason no one went for him when he was 25 million quid.
Yeah.
You know, Brighton give him about 2 games and we're just like, nah. Yeah. And he would never have, Michael's right, he'd never score goals the way we played anyway, would he? Because he'd be getting the ball on the edge of our box. But DJ Dan Mercury says, my walking stick is faster than McNeil. Okay. Blake says, Doku exposed the hell out of Dwight. It was a bit mad. It was a little bit mad the way he just had a sprint below me and he just knocked it past McNeil and was gone. And McNeil was like, where's he gone? He was like, all of a sudden, there was like 15 yards between them. And it was like, wow. But then McNeil started holding the back of his knee, so I don't know whether he's still injured or whatever. King Robbo, I know what his goal record is in Sporting. I watched Gyökeres for many years when he was at Coventry and before, you know. But that game at Goodison, I hear people say, I was really impressed. I thought he was terrible. We beat them 1-0. Yeah. Dom scored a pen. He just looked like a big donkey, knocking people out the way. He didn't do anything. People were like, oh, he was great. I was like, okay. I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Didn't see it. But he has been superb in Portugal. Really like, he's been brilliant in Portugal.
I remember in the Champions League as well, he done well, didn't he?
Yeah. He hasn't scored as many, I don't think, since Amarim left, though.
He scored a hat-trick, though.
He got one the other night. Yeah. The kid's obviously got a lot of talent, hasn't he? I'm just, and I know about 13 teams looked at him, and nobody wanted to spend the money on him. It does make you go, well, it's not just Everton. Why is nobody else paying? Because 20 million to some of the teams who were looking at him is nothing. Like, we were like up against the wall, weren't we? We were trying to, when we inquired about him, we were trying to do it obviously with like a packet of salt and vinegar walkers and on Klarna and stuff, and a bag of nets. But other teams had that money, and with the down payments and all that, it probably would have been 6 or 7 million. And they all looked at him and, no, not convinced. Yeah. So there must be a reason why, but who knows. James, yes, I do think Spurs would loan him out because I think they just want him off. I think Postecoglou, if he's still there, and it's doubtful whether he will want a different style striker. I think they just want him off the books, even if it was for a year, getting his wages.
Yeah.
And then if he did well at Everton, if he stayed fit and did well,
Like 20
Obviously,
mil or something.
Everton would have the option to buy him, but it also mean other clubs would go, you know what, he might be worth a go. But who knows? Who knows? Right, you beautiful people, we are going. So enjoy. Thank you everyone who's subscribed. It's gone up again, so you're all brilliant. We'll be back tomorrow, as always. Back tomorrow. So take it easy. The final word.
Out of 3, well, it just came out.
Has just come out, so go and watch that, about the Man City game. Big dunk on the overlap was boss. Also, another call for the Inside the Game podcast with Neil Jushner. Big bit on Everton, which is really good. Younger players and players come through and all that. Have a little look at that. Like, subscribe, as you are all doing, and have a fantastic rest of your bank holiday. See you later.